Ren Ren. Good evening, everyone. It's Wednesday, which means it's life hack day. Just going to wait here with Ren for a minute. While we wait for a few people to join. Hi Panilla, hi Tara, hi Donna, hi Jamie, hi Cassidy, Inika. Sorry I'm a couple of minutes late. You wouldn't believe how busy it's been today. Even if I told you, it would take me more than the next hour to tell you. But I thought I'd start down here. Hi Hazel, hi Judith, hi Karen, hi Petra. Because this is one of the most important things. Obviously, I know that a lot of you will want to talk about better. It's absolutely fine. I've promised I'm not going this evening. All cried out. And we will talk about him. But I thought I'd start with Ren Pen down here. There's so much to update everybody on. Hey Lindsay, hi Peg, hi Lenny, hi Lisa. Lisa, it's very sad that you left us today. You'll be and I met and I've not actually had a chance to come down here today. Pop off and have a look at it. Quite tasty anyway. You're not supposed to be eating it now, Ren, honestly. Philip has kindly scaled it out for us, and hopefully we'll not got any rain for the next couple of days, and we'll have enough haylage. Well, this isn't going to be all the haylage that we need, because we need, I'm going to set off just because Ren wants to get going, just because we're going to need over 100 bales, but at least that's our main haylage field cut. Hi Novi, Mama, hi Maureen, Christine, Monique. Apologies to anybody who I miss on here. So yeah, I'm hugely relieved that that's cut, and I'm just hoping and praying. We've had a really lovely day here today, really warm and sunny, which is such a rarity at the moment. We just haven't had enough of it. So as I say, Philip scaled that out once. Hopefully he'll have a chance to scale it out tomorrow. There is a bit of rain forecast for tomorrow, but because the ground was so wet underneath, it's going to take longer to dry than it usually would. I think so many people were in the same position round here, not being able to get their grass. And it's something, you know, you can't survive another year without having all your haylage. Anyway, I thought we'd start down there just because I wanted to check it myself, even though I haven't hopped off, but also because I can bring you past the orchard. And as you can see, our orchard is looking very green and beautiful. Unfortunately, there's far too much green and beautiful grass around all the memorial apple trees at the moment, so that's something that we need to get sorted, because this is where Teddy's going to come. And actually, Teddy came home today. He arrived back earlier today by courier. And I'm going to show you where Teddy is when we get back off today's hack. I have to say, the staff at the pet crematorium, who made sure that he was back with us safe and sound. So he's going to be coming in here sooner than previously hoped, and it's really hard to believe that it's really just over a week since we had to say goodbye to him. Looking at a few comments, you're right, the clock along the road, lovely. Anyway, I'm going to come back to Teddy when we get back to the farm, because we've got up there, Bailey and Frey have been setting out all the wonderful, wonderful gifts that we've received for him. So I'm going to tell you a bit more about those when we get back there. And don't just take him and back to the farm. I will take you out around the village so you can feel like you're on Wren yourself. She might decide that she doesn't want to go past the driveway, but she's, as you know, she's brilliant. She'll keep going, and we'll have a little pootle around the village. As I say, there's so much to tell you of what's happened over the last week, even, you know, without even covering the teddy bear news. These three cheeky boys, so we've got Hannes, Iceman and Uber out here. They decided to break through into the top field this morning, so Hol and I had just gone out on Yolanda with Annie and Micah as well, and we saw that they'd broken through into what we call the footpath field. So they all had rather full tummies, so they came up to the yard for a bit. I'm sorry if I'm not reading all the comments. Peg, we could have a volunteer tidy up the orchard day. I'd come. Well, we need a couple. I mean, we've got a strimmer, and trust me, I would love to strim down there, but you know, I don't get to spend that much time with the horses as it is, so it's probably a better use of somebody else's time. But yeah, we do need to tidy, get new round, and I have replied to your email, and that's incredibly kind and generous. And obviously, you know, for those of you that have contributed towards Bear's Tree, I'm not going to keep going back to him. I must try not to do that, because I will update you all later. Anyway, the other thing I came down here, other than to show you the 3 there, to show you down here, and Vince started on the work down here to get this all cleared and levelled, because this is an area, you might remember, this front bit here, we put stone down so that the boys weren't travelling around in loads of mud over the winter when we gave them their haylage. And as part of the 110k fundraiser, and I know that Hoytzer and Jubba's house up there and Bessie's barn are the priority, but I'm hoping if we can keep it going to the end of the year, it's going to cover getting this area sorted out so that it's a nicer place for me in the winter. Today, because we're in the national parks, so still to be done. And as I said, up with the incredible job, but we've got lots of stone to get down there as well. Anyway, we'll carry on, and I'll show you a little bit of Hoytzer. There's been a bit of an earthquake there at the moment. Anyway, we'll enjoy a little bit of clip-clop for a while. Oh, Rin. It's so lovely. This is actually quite unusual for me. This is actually my second time in the saddle today, which is very rare at the moment. As you know, I don't get to do this anywhere near as much as I used to, but fortunately there was a little bit of time this morning before the gentleman from Quattro Flooring arrived to start doing the rubber matting in our stables and in Bessie's barn. So Bessie's barn has a beautiful new rubber floor, so they've been with us all day. But before they arrived, Hol and I managed to get out with, as I said earlier, Annie and Micah. So I rode Annie and led Micah, and Hol rode Yolanda, and we just went round the village, and it was really lovely because it's quite busy down there at the moment because they're prepping for another race day on Saturday. So there were lots of people around, and we even saw the lovely Anne, who you'll remember did that fantastic fundraising run with Hol a couple of months ago. Seems like a lifetime ago. Oh, there's Mother. There's Mother. Just bear with me a second. I'll pick it up later, yeah? In there is another fabulous donation off our wish list, the hot horse shower, because ours finally gave up. But anyway, we'll have a little quick glimpse over here. As you can see, huge mounds of earth, and I'll show you when we go back in the great big track that's been dug through the solid rock for the new water feed that's going in. Okay, let me have a look. Monique, that will be a lovely area for the winter. And the thing is, you know, we could put, you know, shelters in all the fields and stables down there, but the horses all want to be up the top, which is what the long-term plan is. That obviously our wonderful Tara has helped us on getting all those plans in place, but that's something that we'll talk about more next year. I'm just going to go this way because I think the road's a little bit blocked that way, so sorry when we're going to have to go down the steep hill. Okay, the news on Inner. Yes, so sorry I've not been able to, with everything else going on, I've not got round to doing a video on Inner. She's a really, really lovely mare, and she's settled in very well with the girls, but she is definitely one who will thrive more in a one-to-one environment. She's quite a she's got lots of natural energy, and she's quite an anxious mare, so she needs to be with somebody who can give her a lot of confidence and build up that relationship. And she's such a willing mare. She so wants to do the right thing, but she's like a lot of Friesians, she's always looking for that human interaction. So she is going to be fostered out because, you know, we're not in a position to give her as much attention as I think she'll thrive on. You know, she's absolutely fine out in the herd, but yeah, I know from reading her and knowing when she comes in, she just wants to be with people, which they all do. And I think, you know, for her long-term happiness, and I am, it's sort of the ball's rolling on that. I am speaking to somebody this week who I'm hoping and I think will offer her a very beautiful foster home. But obviously I can't say too much about that at the moment because, you know, it's all in the planning. So she will always come under our banner. She will always, her care for life will be our responsibility. But you know, we have to do what's right for her. You know, if we had all the facilities built and, you know, the dream all built up the top, then, you know, we could probably have looked at keeping her on. But even then, I think, you know, because she is one of those that's going to thrive in a one-to-one home, it feels to me like it's the right thing to do. Have I got this angle right on the camera, or am I not showing you enough of Wren's neck? Because I can't quite see on my phone. No, I think I'll tip it down a little bit so you can see a little bit more of Wren. Oh, sorry if you got my finger over the screen there. There you go. Can you see a little bit better now? Anyway, we're going to go past the girls' field in a minute. One thing I was going to say about taking Annie out this morning, it was the first time I'd hopped on Annie since we had a lady called Rachel Hamer, who is a cranial sacral chiropractor, and she came very highly recommended by our own trainer Mel, who's used her for a number of years with her horses to help with some of their imbalances. And we had her come along on Friday to have a look, to start with, at Anya, Iceman, Yolanda, and why doesn't my memory serve me very well? That's really bad, isn't it? Sorry, there's so much going on through my mind. Look, there's all the girls down there. Who did we have? Anya Ice, Yolanda. Frey, if you're watching this, can you remind me who else? Oh, that's so bad, isn't it? Oh, how could I forget? How on earth could I forget? It was Nero. Oh my goodness, I do worry about my brain. I really do. Ladies of a certain age. Frey, the angel looks good. What's that? I must have missed something there. I must have missed it. Thank you, Cassidy, for reminding everybody to hit like on this. I noticed actually the other day we've dropped subscribers for some reason. Look, there's the girlies down there. Hope you can see them. So yeah, if any of you watching haven't subscribed to our channel, do hit the subscribe button, because it all helps. All helps spread the word about these beauties and what we do here. Anyway, as I say, this morning was the first time I hopped on Annie, and one of the very interesting things that Rachel was explaining, and I think Hol's done a couple of videos that she'll share with you on Rachel's visit. She was saying that with a horse with wobblers like Annie, what she does is to, excuse me, she couldn't do an awful lot to realign her from her head and through her body, because potentially it could cause more problems with a horse that's got wobblers, and especially as I don't actually know with Anya where the compression is in her neck, because for those of you that don't know about wobblers, it's all to do with the with an area within the neck where there's some compression of the spinal cord. And you know, Anya is a very low level wobbler, but it was really, really interesting, because whenever I get on her straight away, Jamie, I don't know, I love your optimism about my brain, but I'm not quite sure whether it'll ever be fine when I'm not quite so exhausted. We can live in hope though, bit of positivity doesn't do anyone any harm. So yeah, I hopped on her, and ordinarily when I first get on her and start riding her down the hill of the driveway, she feels really stiff through her shoulders, and I know that she doesn't find going downhill very easy, but I was absolutely shocked. She stepped out, she walked out really well, and she definitely felt a lot looser through her back and her shoulders. So whatever it was that Rachel did that day, and I wish I could explain to you well enough, but I can't, and I've forgotten a lot of it. She told me at the time, and she sent me a lovely complex report, but yeah, I'm not going to remember it now. So I know she moved a few areas around her head, because that's what a lot of it is about, but yeah, it obviously made a difference. So I have to say I am really impressed with her. And we've got her. Have you got a clegg, darling? Sorry, there's lots of clegs around at the moment. I have fly sprayed her, but they still come out. So I have got her booked in again in August, and we've got 2 Dianes. One has very kindly bought a session for Ren Pen here, and I met Diane the other day. She called in to see us because she came in to pick up her Team Teddy cap, which she's still going to wear with pride. So any of you who've got your Team Teddy caps, you know, wear them with absolute pride and honour that you were part of his journey. So anyway, she's bought Ren a session, and our other Diane has bought Hannes a session. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Rachel to basically work her way through all the horses, and then let me know which ones are going to benefit from more regular sessions, because we'll balance her visits out with Jenny, our physio, because they both do very different things. But if what they do can help the horses feel more comfortable, you know, alongside the groundwork that we're doing, or any of the ridden work that we're doing, which isn't a lot at the moment, you know, it's all good. And definitely Anya felt that little bit happier today. So to me, that's a good thing. Anyway, let's have a look. Hi Amanda, you're doing amazing. You traced it after all that's been going on. Oh, thank you. Give yourself a pat on the back. Oh, that, you see, that just makes me think of like teddy bear scratches, his back scratches and head scratches. Thank you. I try, you know, I try, and I know it's really lovely. There's been so many messages and cards, and I know some of you worry about me and me looking after myself, and you know, I am best when I'm busy. You know, it did get to me, not just losing him, but I think, you know, because of being sleep deprived, just because, you know, travelling backwards and forwards to Yorkshire twice a week, you know, that did make it that much harder. But you know, I'm quite resilient. I keep fighting on. I think I stress my sister out, I stress Tamara out all the time, because I do get quite anxious at times. But that's only because I'm not spending enough time with the horses, because they're the best therapy in the world, as you all know. As you all know. And I think, Donna, I know that you're on here. Your letter was just so touching, and I won't talk lots about it, but you know, it was a perfect reflection of quite how special Teddy Bear was, and the ability he had to make everyone feel good and well and loved. So yeah, I won't talk more about that, but yeah, the messages, and I'm really sorry if I haven't replied to everybody or thanked everybody for their cards. You know that we're all so grateful. Yeah, Donna, it you know, as I'm talking about you now already, yeah, it was really interesting with Anya, and I know Hol was on Yolanda, and I guess, you know, Hol and I've talked a lot about the fact that she, at this stage of her learning, doesn't necessarily feel the things that I might feel, you know, and the subtle changes that you get in a horse when one thing works better than it did. But you know, that she's 20, you know, it took me probably till I was about 40 before I was learning better, and I'm still learning, you know, no matter what stage you're at, you're always learning with horses. So I know it's frustrating for Hol, but you know, she's getting there, and she's got such a brilliant understanding already for her age. Right, sorry, let me go back to the comments. Joanne, I ordered mine today, proud to be... Oh, I think I saw that, Joanne, just before I left the office, and I said to Frey, oh, we've just had another one come through. I think that might have been yours. Might have been someone else. Anyway, we have got some left. What's that, Jamie? The Greenbank humans should use up for cranial therapy too. I hear it works wonders. Do you know, it's funny, because years ago, I remember Sarah, Hol and Freya's mum, she took one of the girls for cranial therapy, and actually when Rachel was here, we all asked her whether she did people as well, but she has given me details of a lady locally in Kendal, because I'm actually quite keen to go myself. Not that I think that there's anything massively misaligned other than my hips, which, you know, I'm very well aware of, but yeah, I think it would be very interesting to do. So yes, I probably will do that. Don't know that I'll video it, but you know, who knows? Let's face it, I video most things, even though I've not done very well in getting video out to you this last week, but I know you all understand why. Hey Angie, you'd love to get back into the saddle. You know, if you can't get back into the saddle, just imagine, like, you can just turn the sound down. You don't have to listen to me waffling on. Just imagine that you're here and you're sat on Renska's back, taking her out for a nice little gentle pootle down the lanes. Oh, Monique, has your teddy cap not arrived yet? Sorry. Hello, Diane. Late but here. Diane, I'm pleased to say that we will be launching the next fabulous Diane quilt that she managed to get finished, ready to celebrate Hida losing that horrible sarcoid. So after we've done tonight's raffle with the gorgeous Xiaoqia quilt and the Xiaoqia and Hida wraps that were made by Wendy as well, then we'll be launching the next ones, and that's going to be Hida's quilt to celebrate that sarcoid going, and little Micah, who is the last birthday of the year. Trish, you're right, we do put our all into the animals, and you know, they deserve it. They don't ask a lot in return, do they? I think the teddy love is going to continue, because you know, he'll always be with us, you know, as are all the past residents, and I know that, you know, there's been all sorts of talk about Hole, you know, with her wicked sense of humour and her such great way of talking about all the horses, her having her little teddy appearing in some of the videos, you know, as a little teddy angel, telling Annie off for peeing outside the friendship barn or whatever it is she's doing next. Mind you, I caught her today. She didn't pee outside the friendship barn, she peed somewhere else, which was quite amazing. What's that, Diane? After physio and cranial sacral therapy to help with fatigue. Oh, you employed? Oh, okay. To help with fatigue. I don't get tired. Who gets tired? No, we all get tired. Oh, okay. Didn't know that it would help with. I suppose it helped with lots of things. Maureen, just watched part of Holly's video. Nero was at the tie-up, of course. I can't see it like you can, but after all this time it still looks nasty. Is it going to be okay? He was looking very sleepy. Maureen, you know, Nero's an interesting one. Are you talking about the cut on his leg, or are you talking about his fused hock? I mean, I can tell you about both. His fused hock is effectively still fusing. So he has good days and bad days. Some days he rests, other days he's quite unhappy with it. In his session with Rachel, she picked up on obviously the fact that his right hip, and it's his right hock that's been used, was further forward than his left hip. Also, he was front left leg. Now, that is likely to be as a consequence of the problem in his hock. But as Rachel Agas, who was the surgeon who performed the surgery that he had back in February, she did make it very clear that it is going to take up to a year for that hock to fuse fully. Now, I was thinking, because the idea is that by drilling into his hock, it's aggravating the bone to make more bone grow, so that bone grows, and then it seals that joint so that it actually can't move anymore. So, knowing will sure keep him, because if he keeps moving, that bone will keep growing, or it'll keep getting damaged. But the idea is that even though there's it's a bit uncomfortable and he's on pain meds to manage that, he needs to keep moving for enough bone to grow so that it can fuse. Am I losing you here? Am I going too detailed? I apologise if I am. The thing is, look, the idea is that it stops movement in that part of the hock, so that there's no pain with it. Obviously, it changes the way the hock moves, so he will will be mechanically lame, so he will be lame pain. Like if Yolanda, down in the village, quieter now. If you look at Yolanda, she's got one shoulder bigger than the other. She looks lame, but it's just because of the way that she's put together. Hello. Thank you. So it's a mechanical lameness, and you know that's the idea with Nero, is that and mechanically lame, not still. I have ideas to bring him out around the village doing a bit of ride and lead, you know, not riding him necessarily, but leading him just so that he can, you know, have a bit of fun. Hiya. Anyway, and as for his cut, yes, it's healing up nicely. It wasn't very pleasant. He did it out in the field. So as it's healing, we're just cleaning it up every day. Anyway, I'm missing everything else. Let's see. Sorry, I missed a lot of the comments here. Have you ever had a communicator come to the farm? It might be a nice break from all the stress. It can be very fun. All the animals are thinking. No, not necessarily. I have heard of them. I like to think that, you know, we communicate in lots of ways, but are you talking about an animal communicator as in like a clairvoyant that a person might go to? And I know a lot of you won't believe in that and will think it's sort of witchcraft, but you know, I have done that before. So yeah, no, it would be quite interesting, because I think, you know, there are things that can come up in that. So yeah, feel free to send me recommendations of people who you know are good. Jamie, you're hoping Hole doesn't find the sarcoid. I know that sarcoid is somewhere around the farm. You'd like to think that it's shriveled up or it's been taken off by someone or something. Diane, you're drinking Prosecco and Carlo. How is on the wedding. I'm sure to be drinking Prosecco, although lady really session. Oh, more perception. The gash. I wouldn't quite call it a gash. I would call it a cut. So yeah, he just managed to cut his leg on something in the field. It didn't look very good for a little while, but and you know, his leg was a little bit swollen, but it's cleaned well. The swelling, you know, it will take a little while to go down completely. But yeah, I mean, he's still sore on the other leg, but as I say, he's on meds to help him with that. And you know, some days he does get quite tired. He's definitely affected by when it's warmer. He's a lot more quiet, and if he's been out in the field for a few days, he gets quiet. He's maybe not as robust and resilient as some of them are, and I think the very fact that he picked up that virus when we had all that rain and that cold weather, I think just shows that. So he is more susceptible to picking up bugs, but he's on lots of different things to help with his immune system. Actually, that's something, if I get around to posting some of my video from today, we're actually looking, it's the next little key in my bonnet. I always have little things that I, you know, want to try and sort out, but primarily going back to Anya, I'm actually looking at changing the feed that we're giving all the horses, because we've tried everything with Annie's skin, and she gets lots of lumps and bumps on her chest, and they've been getting worse. So yes, I'm in the process of changing feed, but wait for, you know, what I tell you in one of the other video updates. I won't get onto that subject here, because otherwise I'll never get through all the rest of the comments. Paul, you add zinc drops and vitamin D drops to germaline cream for cuts and gashes. Well, that's interesting. We feed We feed quite a lot of zinc to some of them. Hannes has been on it since he's had the problems with his sarcoids. Nero's on it. Who else is on zinc? Somebody else is on zinc. Can't remember. But we've got quite a few on zinc and berberine and vitamin C, you know, to help with their immune system. Maureen, in another 110 years, someone will find the sarcoid as a fossil. And that will be to celebrate 220 years. And of course, we've had that happen, you know, the day that we had to say goodbye to Teddy. It was our 110th anniversary, and as many of you will know, we were originally, well, I set the very unrealistic target of trying to raise 110,000 so that we could improve all the facilities by the winter by our 110th anniversary. It was never going to happen. So that campaign is now open. Thank you. For the rest of the year, as you've seen, you know, some of the work is being done already. Bess's barn is nearly complete. We've even had Chris here today measuring up for the stable door and the gateway. So there's lots going on, but as with everything at our farm, it's not easy and straightforward. It gets a lot more costly and time consuming, primarily because of the rock. And you'll see as we get back to the farm and we go up the driveway, you're right, darling. You'll see the big channel that Vince has had to dig through that field to get the water pipe in, and on anybody's land it would have taken a couple of days, but because of the rock it's taken a week and a half. And you know, when you're hiring in a digger that's, you know, they're not cheap to hire in, as well as the pecking equipment to go through the rock, it just sort of triples and quadruples your price. But you know, we know that about the farm, so it's one of those things that we accept for all the wonderful qualities that there are there. We've got Jane Alexander with us, hiya, who was just such an amazing help to Teddy Bear. Jane, you are brilliant, and I'm sorry if I made you cry with that last bit of video, but it was just so wonderful. You giving him those kisses on behalf of all his fans around the world. Maureen, you're right, it was amazing for Jane to visit, and hiya. And Jane, I know, will be coming along because I have sorted out today Teddy Bear's memorial tree. As I say, I'll tell you more when we get back up to the farm. So we will be having his memorial on the 30th. When we went that evening, I promised to film that didn't right. Sorry, here didn't to lie met because I'd be worrying more about that than actually, thank you, doing what we need to do on the day. Anyway, I've waffled all the way around the village. Look, we're coming back to Cartmel Coffee. Thank you very much. People often give me funny looks because they think I'm just talking to myself. MK and the other pussycats. MK, she's always around. Sometimes I see her up by the static. She visits our neighbours a lot, Karen and Steve, and she often takes them little presents. Not necessarily little presents that you'd want. Very. Yeah, she's fine. Loads of food, courtesy of Peg, bringing them a glass of sardines. So while she was keeping on top of making sure that food through there. Cassidy, hope springs eternal. You may not have hit 110, but I believe you are halfway there. We are. That's wonderful. And you will meet your goal a bit later. We will. Where there's a way. And I did find out today. Well, I think I mentioned earlier, sorry if I'm repeating myself, that we've had a very kind offer to cover the cost of the shelter to go in the boys' field. But the channels that have been dug for the water, they're going to be covered up, I think, on Saturday. We can't do it tomorrow because we've got some visitors in the house at the moment, so obviously we don't like to make lots of noise when people are in there having a nice time. Oh, okay, that's interesting, Paul, about the Morhuling cream. And of course we've still got, you know, a big pot of Manuka honey, and you know that was tried on our little teddy bear. But unfortunately that infection was just too strong. Anyway, what else has been happening? Oh, there's so much been happening. You see, I forget it all. So we obviously had Rachel around. I'll tell you what, we had some lovely visitors on our Meet the Horses tours last week, and actually Frey and Lisa did their very first tour with some visitors, which was lovely. They did a great job, because I think it was on a Thursday when Hole's off. Miss, if someone finds that sarcoid, you could have the blasted thing bronzed. Oh, it's disgusting. No, it's a horrible thing. If it bronzed. Oh, Peg, our Frisian family will always support you and the horses, Tracy. It's what families do. Oh, you're brilliant. You're all lovely. I need to not run these two lovely people over who are walking up the road.